Hello, and welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today's video is going to be about the USH-405. The USH-405 is a Swedish tank destroyer at battle rating 7.0, and in today's video you're going to see the average game of this vehicle and how I recommend that you should play it. So, the USH is a glass cannon, meaning it lacks armor, but it has good weaponry. The USH is also a very fast vehicle, as you could see, since it has wheels and it's quite light, but it has very weak armor, and for that reason you're going to want to play it as a sneaky Swede, which means that you should hide and try to ambush your opponents or stay at a distance. So this vehicle fires rocket-propelled grenades out of its 81mm cannons, and there are two of them, and they pretty much don't even have a reload. You can just spam them. And about the spamming, I tried not to spam, but sometimes it's necessary because this thing can easily be penetrated by 50 cal, and sometimes if you don't spam them a little bit, you will easily be penetrated by 50 cal and you will easily get destroyed. So here in the replay you can see I went straight for A since it's far away, and I heard this RU-251 and I quickly smashed the rocket into him and I hull break him. So my friendly P-54 gets destroyed by a Leopard 1, so I quickly capture the base, but now I face to where I suspect that the Leopard will be. There he is. So I fire one round, but the armored car rocked a little, and I fired another one and it hit him and destroyed him. So sometimes you do have to spam them a little bit, even though it only has 18 rounds, and what I recommend you should do is use one cannon at once, meaning you use all of the ammo out of one and then switch to the other, since it's easier to manage and it's just easier to manage, and you don't have to focus, and you get to focus on one instead of having to use both. And sometimes one can hit and one can miss because they're on either side of the tank, so the armored car, I mean. So now you see I go back to B, and I want to ambush anything that could possibly be threatening my team, and here you see that I get into this very good position over here. This is a position that I highly recommend, especially in the beginning. It's very powerful when enemies are progressing quickly. And I stopped the King Tigers. I had to fire quite a bit because they didn't seem to want to penetrate. And you can see I ran out of ammo from the first one, and I switched on to the second one. Now this Panther 2 comes out, and I have to quickly take him out. But I don't manage to get him in the first few shots, and you can see I use a lot of shots over there, and a couple of them were wasted since they did not penetrate. But I'm always really careful in this vehicle, so I always try to put out a couple more rounds just to make sure that the enemy do not get their machine guns onto me. So you can fire your shots one at a time just to save more ammo, but it's really just safer to spam a little bit. So I cross this corner, cross this intersection, and I spot a Yak Tiger. I managed to hit his machine gun there and damage his suspension, but I quickly got out of the way because his 120mm gun can easily outbreak me, and it would end badly. So I quickly went to gain some new ammo, and then I went back to A because the enemy capped it. And now that I have more ammo, I can finally engage some new tanks. So I I quickly went back to A and I capped it just to make the enemy tickets bleed faster. And our team is pretty much at the enemy spawn now. So you don't last very long in this vehicle. This replay was an exception, but it's really hard to survive in the vehicle for the whole round, simply because you just die so quickly because you have pretty much no armor. But it's a very fun vehicle because it's super fast, it has super fast firing rockets, and it's really fun to play. And if you compare it to other tanks, such as the T-114, the T-114 is a battle rating lower than on the American tree, but it has slower firing rockets, and it's slightly slower. So, battle rating wise, it is quite good in the competition against other vehicles that are similar to it. So, now I am quickly going to the base, to the enemy spawn, and I just spot this Yak Panzer, the Yak Tiger, and I quickly take him out. So that's pretty much the end of this round. And here you see I cross this intersection and I fire a few shots on the moon towards that bulldog, but I miss, and I try to reverse and make sure before I go that he's not there, because he can also, I think, hull break me. So I don't manage to get the bulldog, but it's a pretty good round with 5 kills. So that's pretty much the end of this round and the end of this video. So up next are the post-game stats. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.